Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, intention reunite in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. My name is Laurel Patterson.
And my name is Johanna van Gelder. Welcome to our service.
And together we're Laurel and Johanna. We want to greet and bless everyone who's watching online. Your presence adds to our spiritual community, and we are so grateful you're with us. Thanks for joining us. Please join me in welcoming our featured musician, Carol Manson. She's joined by Mark on keyboards, Dusty on bass, Dan on drums, and Lisa and Michelle are our Unity song leaders today. Thank you all for sharing your music with us.
Reverend Kristen will deliver today's message, and the title is The Hidden Gifts We Exchange.
Before we begin, I invite you to turn your phones to silent so that we may enjoy this sacred service together.
Let's take a moment to be grateful for the land our center rests upon. This is Bami Walk and Ohlone land.
We honor the Bami Walk and Ohlone people of today and are grateful for those who were stewards of this land before us. We commit to taking care of these sacred native grounds and all of Mother Earth.
Unity is a positive path for spiritual living. Our vision for the world is, and let's say this together, we envision a spiritually awakened world where all life thrives in conscious oneness.
Our mission is who we have come here to be. Again, let's say this together.
We are a loving, inclusive community, expanding and living our divinity in sacred service for all.
And our core values are love,
connection, service, and wisdom. I invite the ushers to come forward with welcome packets. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you feel comfortable, please raise your hand so we may give you a welcome packet. Is there anybody here for the first time? Welcome. Thank you. We're glad for you to be here. We invite all of you really, to visit our welcome center, our bookstore and cafe right across the patio. And for you being here for the first time, please come and receive a gift in the bookstore.
Connection cards are available in the newcomer packet as well as in the seat pockets in front of you. These are for everyone. With this card, you may submit a prayer request, and our prayer team will pray with you throughout the week.
You may also share feedback or request information. Please place your card in the basket with the offering at the end of service. For those of you viewing online, connection cards are available on the Watch Live page of our website. We have several activities to highlight this week.
The Awakened Abundance Workshop is today at 2, from 2 to 4. Reverend Kristen, Reverend Johanna, and Laurel will be guiding you to help establish your personal goal and create an abundance blueprint to help you begin and fulfill it in 2025. This experiential workshop is a continuation of the Abundance Project that we studied in the fall, and is designed to support you in expanding into your joy-filled life. And guess what, guys? It's going to be so much fun as well as inspiring.
So we are excited to announce Unity has 3 new events starting in January.
Wow.
The first event is Ignite Your Power Through Meditation on the 3rd Friday of the month with Barka Ram. Come experience guided meditation, soothing music, and community reflection to calm your mind, release limiting beliefs, and uplift your spirit. Step into transformation and leave with renewed peace, power, and purpose, the 3 Ps.
The second event is Activating Health and Wellness with Alexandra de Avalon. She's right there. On the 4th Wednesdays of January, February, and March. This transformative series features solar plexus qigong, healing water elixirs, primordial sound meditation, and divine feminine and masculine sounds. Don't miss this opportunity to rejuvenate your body, your mind, and your spirit with ancient wisdom and unlock your vibrant health. Sounds good.
The third event is Drawing Out Your Soul on the 4th Friday of the month with Ali True.
She's here somewhere. She's not here somewhere? Oh.
In this event, you will nurture your soul in a safe environment as you explore your deepest self and align with your values. Come express yourself through art, guided breathing techniques, and meaningful community connection as we honor each other's truths. No art experience is needed, thank God. Just an open heart.
You're pretty creative. I don't know.
Yeah, but art.
And join us for food, fun, and friends at our annual Crab Feed fundraiser and fundraiser. It's a fun fundraiser. Did you get that? Okay. On Saturday, February 22nd, volunteer signups are on the patio today.
Also, plan to stay after service, after the 11:30 service on Sunday, February 2nd, for lunch and a concert with comedic singer-songwriter Greg Tamblyn. More details coming soon.
Reserve your spot for these events by signing up on the patio or by sending an email to office@unityofwalnutcreek.org. For more information and registration for all our events, please see our website. Or you can visit our welcome table for flyers out on the patio for more information.
So let's prepare for our time of meditation. Please join me in taking a conscious breath and affirming our statement of faith together. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. We will begin with music, followed by guided meditation and silence.
Please join in as you wish if that helps you sink into meditation. Hari Om, dear one, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Hari Om, dear one, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Call on the light within. Call on the light within. Call on the light. Call on the light. Call on the light within. Call on the light within. Call on the light within. Call on the light. Call on the light. Call on the light within. Hari Om, dear one, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Hari Om, dear one, Satnam, holy name. When I call on the light within, I go home. Call on the light within. Call on the light within. Call on the light. Call on the light. Call on the light within. Call on the light within. Call on the light within. Call on the light. Call on the light. Call on the light within.
And having now called forth the light, let us become aware of its growing presence within us. Every inhalation intensifies and brightens the light. And every exhalation shares it in all directions, letting it spread throughout our bodies and beings and beyond. Coming in and close to the light, going out and becoming the light. Letting that light bless our bodies, the cells of our bodies. Letting it expand beyond us in the exhalation and bless the people next to us, behind us, in front of us. Drawing in and near once again to the divine presence as light. Breathing it out, blessing ourselves and those right around us. Let us practice in this way with the light, expanding it, allowing it to go where it needs to go. Divine light heals and reveals. Let us breathe with the light in the silence. Each of us have now become perhaps aware of the intense ball of light that we are in essence, in our ability to unfold and expand and grow and share the light, to pull it in and be infilled once again, and to let it out. Together we can do amazing things. Let us send this light together to Southern California, to all the places and people and animals, vegetation and structures. We send it with whatever is needed: comfort, guidance, peace, safety, protection, rain. The divine knows exactly what is needed. All we are is the light, carriers of blessings and affirmations, raising up, giving forth more powerfully together now. The light is bringing whatever is needed across the land to all beings now blessed with whatever they are seeking. And so it is.
Hari Om, dear one, Snatam. Holy name, when I call on the light within, I go home. Hari Om, dear one, Snatam. Holy name, when I call on the light within, I go home. I call on the light within. I call on the light within. Call on the light. Call on the light. Call on the light within. I call on the light within. I call on the light within. I call on the light. Call on the light. Call on the light within. Keep it going. I call on the light within. I go home. I go home. Call on the light. I call on the light within. I go home. Call on the light. I call on the light within.
Good morning. A favorite song of mine. We are like children, we're painted on canvases, picking up shades as we go. We start out with gesso brushed on by people we know. Watch your technique as you go. Step back and admire my view. Can I choose the colors I choose? Do I have some say what you use? Can I get some greens and some blues? We're made by the pigment of paint that is put upon. Our stories are told by our hues. Like Motley and Bearden, these masters of peace and life, layers of colors and time. Step back and admire my view. Can I use the colors that I choose? Do I have some say what you use? Can I get some greens and some blues? We're made by the pigment of paint. We're made by the pigment of paint that is put upon. Our stories are told by our hues. Like Motley and Bearden, these masters of peace and life, layers of colors and time. Step back and admire my view. Do I have the colors that I can choose? Do I have some say what you use? Can I get some greens and some blues? We are like children. We are like children. We fall down, we get up, we fall down and we get up and we fall down and we get up and we fall down and we get up. We are like children. We are like children.
Well, given the topic today, I feel like I listened in a whole different way and received you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Carol. She's so beautiful, isn't she? Have you ever stopped to think about the gifts that we exchange every day with one another? The gifts that we exchange when we interact throughout the day, in a day in a life, or in a single interaction with another being. It's pretty profound when we slow down enough to pay attention to that. I just experienced it. I thought, well, I should practice what I preach, right? I preached at 9:30. Well, preached, right? Shared a message, and put it into practice. And I can tell you from that experience just now that I had, what came from it was far more attention to the texture of the song, to the layers of the music, to the person who was singing it, to her saying, this is one of my favorite songs. So I was like, oh, pay attention. Carol's sharing a piece of her soul. See? Yeah? So there's like that kind of depth and layers that we open to when we intentionally say, I'm paying attention. Yeah, that's it, really. Done. But if you think about the amount of information, first of all, that we take in a day, that comes at us, or that we generate, or that we experience, or that we exchange with, I don't know, I have lost track with what the scientists say our brains process now versus what we processed decades ago, but it's a lot. It's a big difference. So there's a lot of information, but if you think about every interaction, there's information that's exchanged. There's an opportunity for spiritual growth exchanged. There's an opportunity to learn something. I mean, there's so much that happens, that could happen, that is potentially there for us in all these interactions. And if we recognize what's possible to provide one another and to receive from one another, it really puts us in a state of wonder. So last year, Brenly and I went to Costa Rica, and we were, vacationing. So when you're in that kind of vacation mind, spacious mind, sometimes that does open you up kind of already to more presence, right? I don't know about you, but that definitely is true for me to a degree. There's just not as much do this, well, unless you fill your vacation with do this, do that, do it, But I like to have spaciousness when I'm on vacation. And so we were one night at a beachfront restaurant, and this very mysterious, it seemed like the moon and moonlight. I'd never seen anything other than that look like that across the water, yet it wasn't the moon. And so it sat there for maybe 10 minutes, sat still, and then it very slowly moved across the sky. And we were both just looking at it going, what is that? It's too big for a star. It's not the moon. It's not acting like an airplane. I've never seen an airplane send light like that. It seems too close to be a satellite. So we were just wondering and wondering about what this could be. To us anyway, was an unidentified aerial phenomenon. I don't know if the scientists would say that. So our server comes up, Samuel, and we say, hey, Samuel, what was that? We just saw this light. And he said, oh, it's an airplane. He said, there's an airport nearby. And we said, it didn't seem like an airplane, didn't move like an airplane, didn't look like an airplane. It made no sound. But then the conversation quickly changed because he noticed the binoculars that were sitting on the table next to us, and he started to tell us about his dreams. He said, and we knew from meeting some of the people in the area that it was common, like in Samuel's case and his coworker's case, to work 6 days a week, about 10 hours a day. Yeah. And so he was been working really hard, and he was saving because he wanted to go to America, where his cousin lived in Texas. He felt like he could make more money there, and he'd get to explore America. And he said, and I'm saving up for a pair of those. He said, I want to hike and explore in America. I mean, he was just, kind of that wide-eyed, I don't know, do you remember 20-something? The world is your oyster. The possibilities are endless. What will I do with my life? Who will I meet? Will I have a family? What will I do with my career? That's how I felt anyway. I don't know if you felt that way. But it was and I was so interested in everything. And so, I just could feel for Samuel and his just the possibilities that were in him and the dream that was in him. So there's just this beautiful exchange. And then Brenly, in this very spontaneous act of generosity, handed him her binoculars. So then he went and got his manager, and we thought, well, what's going on here? We didn't even think of this, but he had to bring over his manager to say, so she could say, that's a gift. He didn't steal them. So it's wow, there was so much to process in this one evening in these exchanges. And so we walked home to our hotel along the beach, just both kind of in this state of wonder of being in a foreign land and meeting this young man and his dreams and this mysterious light across the water, natural phenomena. And so it's that kind of space that we can be in, not just on vacation, but in our everyday interactions. If we intend it, if we open our awareness to it. And that's the invitation today for us. So how do you show up? Are you aware of how you are when you are in an interchange with someone? Are you aware of how you show up in conversation? Are you looking at the person when they're speaking? Or are you looking off, sort of doing something else as well? Are you thinking about something else? Or are you present to what's being said? Are you doing something else? Our culture gives us a lot of support for this as if it's some sort of badge of honor to, quote unquote, multitask, which in my understanding is just a split attention. What's that? Serial unitasking might work better, yeah. But we know one of our key teachings in our spiritual teachings is presence, right? Presence to the divine presence. And so being present to the presence allows us to open to the gift that is being given to us and the gift that we are giving. Because I'm going to hypothesize, I'm going to put out there that every interaction provides an exchange of gifts, some way, somehow. So are you attuned to the energetic that's happening, to the feelings that you might be feeling during a conversation, maybe even sensing what the other person is feeling, the spiritual energy that is happening around and through you? Remember what Jesus said, wherever two or more are gathered, there I am. There is the divine presence, exponentially present, even palpable at times if we slow down enough. When you're in conversation with somebody, are you paying attention to the nonverbal things that are going on as well as the verbal things that are happening? And do you, after you have had an exchange and walked away, do you reflect upon what just happened? What possible gifts were just exchanged? What did I just experience? How did I show up? Would I like to show up differently? Will I show up differently next time? And that's not meant to start to be critical of ourselves or any of that. It's just that constant growth opportunity that we look at and that we see and that we become committed to. So we're constantly offered gifts for spiritual growth, for evolution. Spirit is here in us, in the other or the others, whoever we're exchanging with. I mean, right now in the house, right? We are having this experience. We are having an interchange. Right now, I'm the only one speaking, but that doesn't mean lots of communication isn't happening in the room, right? So to be aware of that, what all is happening in the room? What is happening inside of me? What is happening around me? What are we creating here? Why are we doing this? Why did you come today? It was an effort. It was a deliberate choice. I'm so glad you did, by the way. Thank you for being here, and those outside and those online who tuned in. You all carved out some space and time to be here, because you perceived that some kind of gift was going to be exchanged. Whether you know exactly what it is or not, I guess it remains to be seen. But how will we be here together with one another? So for there's so many things, right? The visible, the audible, that is available to us through Spirit being present in our interactions. And as we speak of all this, and the introverts in the room might be like, oh no, I'm not going to ramp up my exchanges and my social interactions, right? Anybody feeling that sort of wiggle? And so as an introvert, and I'm amongst them, I can say that, part of what this is about is not necessarily just having more or friendlier exchanges. It's about what happens inside. And that introvert speak, doesn't it? What's going on in the inner world during this exchange, And so to allow ourselves to move into that and to gain energy, to bring forth energy in that way as well. And the good news for all of us is if you find verbal communication a little bit tiresome, our future is full of telepathy. So soon there will not be much verbal communication, so they say, about our ongoing evolution. And there's already a lot of telepathy, but apparently there's going to be more of that in our communications. So as we think about these exchanges, of course, they're not only limited to human exchange. We have, for starters, a whole plant and animal kingdom available to us to always be in communication with as well. Recently, I sat down against a tree on a hike and just decided to stay for a while, and I started to pray out loud, and just as I began to speak, a great horned owl swooped through and landed on a branch across from me. It was a little ways, like, maybe that door and another, or half a door. Anyway, it was a ways away, but close enough that I could really see the expression of the owl and the movements of the owl. And sometimes the owl looked right at me, and sometimes it looked left or right. Sometimes it even closed its eyes. Sometimes it fluffed a wing. So there was just this thing happening. I don't know what was happening exactly. I was, in the mystery, as we often are when owl comes nearby. And so as I got up to leave, I looked down at the ground for a minute to push up, and then it was about 40 minutes I'd been there, and I looked up, and the owl was gone. I didn't hear it fly away. I didn't see it fly away. It's just like it came to be an audience, it seemed. Now, that's, of course, my projection. I don't know. Maybe it was like, why'd you come into my space, And then you got up and left. I don't know exactly what was happening there. But, owl medicine, Native Americans, many indigenous traditions talk about animals as bringing medicine to us when they cross our paths, when they come into our lives, especially if they come repeatedly. And here at Unity, owl medicine is a big deal because we have these great horned owls that live on the land. They come back and forth between EB Mud and our property and the neighbors. But they've had owlettes here, and we have a thing with the owl. So it's like interesting to look at what is this owl medicine. Different nations have different perspectives, but the summary, at least the one that I got from Animal Speak by Ted Andrews, is that the owl represents mystery and magic, omens, silent wisdom, night vision, the feminine, the moon, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and the ability to extract secrets. Ooh, pretty cool, huh? Had I met the little boy in the next story, I might have been more aware of what the gifts were that I exchanged with the owl. I aspire to be like this little boy one day. This boy loved to walk in the woods. And one day, he was on one of those walks in the woods, and he came across an owl. It was a beautiful white owl, and its leg was caught in a branch. The owl said to the boy, "Boy, my leg is caught in a branch. If you will free my leg, I will give you a gift." The boy said, "Owl, I will gladly free your leg." So the boy released the owl's leg from the branch, and he continued on his walk. Next, he came across a cow. And he said, "Hi, cow." And the cow said, "Hi, how are you today, boy?" And he said, "Well, Owl asked me to free his leg from a branch and gave me a great gift. I think the owl gave me the gift of communicating with animals." And the cow said, "Wait, didn't you say that the owl asked you to free its leg from the branch?" And with that, the boy flew away. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Do you believe that? Yes. Yeah, we're good at that in New Thought, aren't we? That's our co-creative principle. Anything is possible. As Emily Dickinson, maybe a pre-New Thought author, said, "I dwell in possibility. I dwell in possibility." And so if we dwell in possibility, then we dwell in wonder, we dwell in awe, we dwell in joy, we dwell in delight, we dwell in a childlike mindset that says that I'm curious about the world around me. I'm interested in you. I want to know you. I want to know myself. That this interaction has magic and mystery and possibility in it that I am paying attention to now, in a way maybe I never paid attention before. So in our interactions then, as we recognize this elixir that interactions can be to opening ourselves to the seemingly impossible, to opening ourselves to spiritual growth perhaps, to opening ourselves to evolve, because we recognize we do not really evolve or spiritually grow in a vacuum, do we? I remember hearing this dialogue between these two people where this woman said, nature is my church. And I could agree with her. And I thought, yeah, nature's my church too. And then this other person says, yeah, but who's holding you accountable? Like, who's putting your feet to the fire if you're not in community with people? If you're not bumping up against people and rubbing up against people and working your relationships, how are you really spiritually growing? So it was an interesting dialogue. It was an interesting thought, right? To consider that we're in relationship with all of it, and like it or not, other human beings, right? So how do we show up then? How do we? And what does the boy show us about how to show up so that we can really reveal what are the gifts that we are exchanging in any given interaction? Well, the first thing the boy does is he does what he loves to do. He loves to walk in the woods, so he goes for a walk in the woods. Now, I know this sounds incredibly simple, but how many of you love to do things you never do or very rarely do? Yeah, a lot of us. Look around. And so the boy is showing us, if you love to do something, do it. Do it. It brings you joy. It brings you opportunity. It brings you possibility because you are a unique soul expression on this planet. And you are wired to love certain things, to do certain things for certain reasons. And so if you just keep pushing those aside and doing what you think society or your family or your spouse or your children, or it gets overwhelming, doesn't it, if you're living for everybody else? I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that we must live for our own souls because we are much better to everyone around us when we do. So the boy took a walk in the woods because he loves to walk in the woods. The second thing he did was, it was his demeanor too, how he walked in the woods, right? He walked in a very open and present way, it seems. It seems like he was available to meet whoever he met along the way, that he was on a journey of just openness and curiosity. How often do we walk through life? Because life is the spiritual journey, right? Every walk we take, every movement we make, well, we're literally walking or moving in some other way, that as we move about the earth, we are on our spiritual journey. The spiritual journey doesn't just happen when you're meditating or praying or at Unity or in a class or reading a spiritual book, right? We know this. It's like everything, all life, all possibility, all is here as spiritual experience. And so our journey, our walk is how do we show up? Do we show up open? Do we show up available? Do we show up looking, paying attention to the gifts that are given to us? And then he meets the owl in a very common type of human interaction, right? The owl needs help. The owl offers an exchange. If you help me, I'll help you. If you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, right? We humans are always doing that. Sometimes it doesn't have to be an exchange. It's just, I need help, and so you help. And the exchange is maybe a thank you or a gift of gratitude, perhaps. So there's so many different, or the exchange is just the joy we feel of being in service. So sometimes what we receive is hidden, and what we give is hidden, and sometimes it's quite obvious. What gifts do you give during your interactions? Maybe you give attention. Maybe you're a really good listener. Maybe you're attuned to your intuition. Perhaps you're somebody who's very compassionate. Maybe you're somebody who inspires others, likes to share your knowledge, perhaps, or likes to share your feelings and your experience and your heart with another person. You have certain ways of showing up, and every interaction is a unique experience. A unique experience to open up to maybe a new way of being, a new way of understanding, or to share your usual ways of being. We don't always know what we've given or what we've received. But how did the boy know? How did the boy know that the owl had given him the gift of flight? You know, one of the things he did was he didn't demand his gift. Did you notice that? He just freed the owl's leg and he moved on. He didn't say, okay, now give me my gift, pay up. You know, that wasn't the attitude with which he did anything. It seemed like he walked with kind of a wonderment and a trust. Oh, yeah, the owl said he'd give me a gift. Wonder what the owl's going to give. And so he wonders out loud with the cow. And of course, the cow points out, after the boy has walked with this attitude of wonder and now is wandering in another exchange, the cow points out that his gift of animal communication has already been mastered. And then there's no need for anything verbal. He just fully receives the gift and embodies it and flies away. So how do we do this? You may or may not learn to talk to animals or to fly. You may, I don't know. But however, you might learn something new about yourself. You might heal an old belief. You might make a new friend, or you may deepen an existing relationship or enhance the intimacy in that relationship. You might learn a new piece of information. You might personally grow. You might improve your communication skills. You might expand into what is possible or walk away and wonder. Then those are just a few of the things that might happen. And these are a few of the ways that we may reveal the gifts of our interaction. One is to really stay present to the presence, giving your full attention to the being you are interacting with and what's going on inside of you. Listening with your heart to what is being said and what isn't being said. And feeling and sensing both the feelings that you might be having, the emotions that might be present for you, maybe sensing what the other might be feeling, and being sensitive to the spiritual energy that's going on. How does it feel? What is happening here? What is opening here? What is moving here? And then wonder, allowing ourselves the spaciousness to dance in the mystery of life, to dance in the mystery of spirit, to recognize the divine that is present in the beings that we are interacting with, including ourselves. Spirit often reveals our hidden capabilities through these interactions. If we are paying attention, we'll know what they are. So who knows what will happen as you become more carefully attentive in your interactions. You may fly or something better. But in this new year, I hope that we will all intend to be more attentive to all that is happening through us and as us and with one another. There's much to be gained through this kind of attention. Let's affirm it together. I intend to be attentive to the gifts in my daily interactions. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Kristen, for this beautiful message and really building community through revealing our hidden gifts. Stay present, listen with our hearts, feel and sense, and stay in wonder. Thank you.
Our prayer chaplains are available after the service to provide personal prayer support. If you're a prayer chaplain serving today, would you please stand? Our prayer chaplains wear the lavender stoles.
So whether you have a joy or a concern in your heart today, praying with our prayer chaplains is a powerful opportunity to have your intentions raised up in consciousness.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your service. And now, let us open our hearts to the practice of giving. Woohoo! So we cheer and we celebrate that because we know that as we give, we do receive. In truth, there is no lack or limitation. Abundance is our true nature. And so now I invite you to to prepare your gift, and it's your turn.
And it's my turn. And we make it easy for you to give, because there are a variety of ways to financially give to this community. Shown on the screen in front of you. For those of you watching online, there's a donate button on the Watch Live page.
It's my favorite button.
It's a really good button. Use it. We encourage everyone to set up regular and automatic giving to Unity using your bank's free bill pay service. I just did that this morning.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and repeat the affirmation with me together.
Divine love, one with me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am joy-filled and grateful.
And we are so grateful for your generosity, and so it is.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Now, can't you hear that pitter-pat? You know that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. Now, I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. But now I know I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover done crossed over. If I never, never, ever have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Oh, here we go. Yeah, y'all stand up now. Come on now. Get a man some energy, y'all. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. But now I know I'm not afraid, 'cause this rover done crossed over. If I never, ever, never have a cent, I'd be rich as Oprah Winfrey. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny, hey, hey, on the sunny, on that sunny side of the street.
even got a little scat with that one. Thank you, Spirit, for the gifts that just keep on giving and receiving and being sent out and going to the right and perfect places. Thank you, Spirit, for our abundant good, be it financial, love, safety, protection, kindness. It all abounds. It's all available. We just are becoming more present to it. So let's bless it together. We give thanks for the ever-increasing, constant flow of absolute good in our lives now. So it is. We are a circle of love. We are a circle of love. Hey, come join the circle of love. Come join the circle of love. The light in you and the light in me are one. The light in you. The light in you and the light in me are one.
Hey. Oh, yeah. The Supreme Sisters, honey. You know what I'm saying? The Supreme.
Thank you so much. Happy Sunday, everyone. We have an extra silly crew up here today. I have no idea what's about to happen. Does anyone want to share about our lesson today? Anyone? Barry? Psychic Rat? Anyone? Anyone want to share about Psychic Rat? No. He tells your future. He's a rat. He lives in Phoenix's hat. Anyone want to share? Everyone's very shy. Oh, except Harrison. All right, Harrison, share about our story, okay? Remember this? There was a snowman, and he had do you remember the story? No. No. Okay. Yeah. We shared about a snowman today who shared his kindness with all the creatures of the forest, right? And he didn't know that he could feel warm and glowy inside without melting, but his kindness helped him feel that way, right? And so we were working on our snowmen, and we're going to go back after this and finish them up. So thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Okay, thank you. Let's bless our children, youth, and teachers, and the child within all of us. Together? Children, youth, and teachers, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the divine light within you.
Yay, beautiful. All right, we're going to close out with all good, all good. Please rise in body or in spirit. And let your neighbor know if you like to hold hands or if you're taking this in through your heart. Here we go. All good, holy, holy. All good, holy, holy. All in my mind, in my heart, in my soul. Now I know all is good, holy, holy.
All good, all good.
All love, holy, holy.
You are the love and the light and the divine presence right here on earth. Let your light shine. Have fun and spread joy.